Peace, 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 family. My name is Michael Jordan, aka the Sirius Alchemist, back with another video. Today's video, I'm doing something a little different. I'm doing the movie review of the movie Sinners that everybody's talking about. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of buzz going on about this movie. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't want to see it. Some people saying it's demonic. Some people saying, it's witchcraft. Some people saying a whole lot of stuff, but I'm gonna give my take on the movie, what I saw, you know what I'm saying? And I think that a lot of those people that are, saying those things about the movie, I'll say one thing that I'll pretty much bet that a lot of them are or Judeo-Christian oriented or Islamic, some type of religious organization. And like I said, I ain't got nothing against religion. I ain't trying to talk stuff on no religion or nothing like that. I'm just, saying that I guarantee you that most of the people that are saying stuff about this movie are Judeo-Christians or some type of very religious person because the movie's a great movie. First off, let me say that. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Michael B. Jordan and Ryan Coogler. They did a great job with the movie. Um, I thought the movie was awesome. There were some scenes in there that was beautiful. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna start out by saying, if your first time here, I appreciate you for tuning in. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell. You get notified every time I drop a video. Um, Check me out on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. You know what I'm saying? Check out the High Vibe Tribe. We on every Sunday. You know what I'm saying? I'm part of the High Vibe Tribe. We vibe high every Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. We on YouTube as well. Check us out. We on TikTok, Instagram over there as well. So check us out on that platform. We're doing great things over there. But back to the content at hand, the movie Sinners was, like I said, was a great movie. Loved the storyline, loved everything about the movie. The two roles that Michael B. Jordan played, Stack and Smoke, brilliant. You know what I mean? Brilliant job. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and go on in. But the movie started out, it started with the church and it ended with the church. You see what I'm saying? I thought that was pretty interesting with the dynamics between Sammy, our preacher boy, and his father, right? Which is a lot of dynamics between father sons in America. You know what I mean? Especially if it has a religious connotation or a religious connection to it. And so in the movie, his father was telling him, you know what I'm saying? His father told him, son, if you go out there dancing with the devil, eventually he's gonna follow you home. You know what I'm saying? But it was one scene in the movie to where when he was walking up to his father to hug him, his father kept flashing like it's like a little demon or like a skeleton like demon. He kept flashing, you know what I'm saying? And I think Ryan Coogler was trying to show the evils of the church. You know what I'm saying? That's what I think. And I'm not saying the church is completely evil, but a lot of stuff going on in there is pretty you know what I'm saying? It's pretty questionable, at least. So, but anyway, the movie started in the church and it ended in the church, and it kind of reminded me of the Ouroboros, which is the snake biting its tail, which represents life, death, and rebirth. You know what I'm saying? So that was the some of the metaphysical things I seen in there. And then when I think it was Smoke or Stack, I'm not sure which one, that killed the snake. You know what I'm saying? Um, that was symbolic too, because when the snake hit the ground, it had the shape of the Ouroboros. You know what I'm saying? And it looked like it could have had the shape of infinity, that infinity shape too, because I have also seen the Ouroboros in that infinity shape as well. So the movie was movie was deep on so many levels. And another thing that I noticed about the movie that could have been possibly happening with the movie is seven of those characters were representing the seven deadly sins. You know what I mean? Like for instance, Smoke and Stack represented wrath and pride because Smoke, the reason why I say he represented wrath because he was always like I'm saying he killed the snake He shot them two brothers, even though he knew them. He shot them anyway. You know what I'm saying? Smoke was just, you know what I'm saying? He was just right. You know, he was all about revenge and wrath. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? He didn't play the radio. Um, and you know what I'm saying? And then we got Delta Slim. And to me, Delta Slim represented gluttony because he drank a lot. He liked to drink and he didn't really care about money. He just really cared about having some good drink. You know what I'm saying? And um the married woman, she represented lust because you seen the scene with her and Preacher Boy. You know what I'm saying? So to me, the married woman represented lust, and the Asian couple represented greed because they had two businesses, and she was always on top of the money. She didn't play about her money. She was always squaggling and quaggling with the money and shit. And cornbread was sloth. You know what I'm saying? Big cornbread, the one that was watching the door, he was the sloth. You know what I'm saying? So to me, this movie had a lot of twists and turns. You know what I'm saying? And then what really to me was interesting in this movie was the part when they was in the juke joint, right? And they was going back through all the music through like from the blues to the rap, from the ragtime to the blues to the jazz to the hip hop. That scene was amazing. The way they interfused the ancestors and all that in there, and also I think it showed a outer representation of the Kundalini energy because if you think about it, the vampires, that's how they noticed them. They saw the light. They saw they saw the light. They saw that energy from way afar. They was like, damn. Saying they seen all that light. They saw all that energy, right? So you know, saying I got to give a shout out to Michael B. Jordan and Ryan Coogler. I mean, they did a great job in this movie, man. They did a great job. And then they intertwined folklore with a little mythology and a little metaphysicalness it had a little bit of everything. Then you got Annie, the root woman. Annie was man, Annie was the real deal. So it showed the mysticism, it showed the root work, it showed the magic. You know what I'm saying? And it was showing how Annie was protecting Smoke and Stack. You know what I'm saying? Because she gave Stack a mojo bag. You know what I'm saying? And now I know why Erica Badu made the song "Annie Don't Wear No Panties." Because Annie don't wear no panties. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it was a great movie, y'all. The movie was great. They went into the Kundalini. You know what I'm saying? They went into the serpent energy. Um, they went into the hoodoo roots. They went into the magic. They went into, you know what I'm saying? They went into a whole lot in this movie. So it was a great movie. If you haven't seen it, go see it because you can get a lot from it. And anybody that watches this movie review, if there's something that I missed or something that you saw in the movie, go and drop it in the comment section because I can't see everything and I don't, you know what I'm saying? Everybody's eyes see something different. Like my grandmother used to say, every eye sees something different. You feel me? So yeah, in the comment, drop something in the comment anybody else seen. And another thing too was that I thought was deep about the movie was the vampires couldn't come in unless they was invited in, right? So how many times do we, as humans, invite energy vampires into our lives without even knowing it? I'm talking about whether it be family, friends. You know what I'm saying? I was just talking to a young brother the other day. He just told me he just found out one of his friends he thought was his best friend been stealing from him. And he asked me what did I think he should do about it. And I told him that, I would just I would just cut him off. You know what I'm saying? That's what I would do. I told him if he wanted to talk to him, he could or whatever he felt that was right. But my advice, I said, bro, that's not your friend. First off, bro, if he's stealing from you, he coming in your house and you thinking he your friend and he walking out the door, he got shit stuffed in his pants or jacket or whatever. Because the dude said hoodies and stuff was missing, shorts, and then he found out dude took a picture with his stuff on. And he said, oh man. So I was like, yeah, man, I just cut him off. So a lot of times we unintentionally invite energy vampires into our lives without even knowing it. So we got to pay attention, not what people say, but what people do. You feel me? That's what I think. One thing the movie touched on is how do we unintentionally give our energy away to energy vampires? Because you know, some people just call you when they need something. You know what I'm saying? Like I got a call the other day. I ain't heard from this. I ain't gonna say no names. But I ain't heard from this person over a year. Then they called me. They needed this and that. You know what I'm saying? That's an energy vampire. Didn't ask me nothing about how I was doing. Didn't ask me how my family was doing. None of that. Just wanted what they wanted done. And I was like, nah, miss me with that. You know what I'm saying? So I think the movie can help us open our eyes to and kind of help us to open our eyes to who's in our circle, who's around us. Do these people really care about me? You know what I'm saying? Are these people energy vampires? Are they just around to zap my energy? You know what I'm saying? So, you know, we got to be mindful of these things. I think that's something the movie pointed out very well. Because if you notice, um, the only way the they got in was through the white woman. And no offense, I ain't got nothing against white people. I ain't got nothing against no race. You know what I'm saying? But the only way they got in was through the white woman because at first they couldn't get in. And then the white lady went out there and started talking to them and then they started playing their little music and they sucked her in a little bit and then she noticed one of them dudes was drooling. She was like, "Oh shit!" She pulled her little strap. And then when she went in, tried to go back in, the dude got her. They got her. So she came in and she went straight for Stack or Smoke, whichever one. I'm not sure. I get them mixed up. And then too, Stack and Blue, I noticed they had a red and a blue hat on. You know what I'm saying? What was that representing? Was that representing the Democrats and the Republicans? Was that representing the gang stuff? Was there's so many things that could have represented that red and blue hat they was wearing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and you see how when the white woman got bit, the first thing she did, she used her sexual energy to attack Stack. I think it was a Stack or Smoke. Stack. I think it was Stack. Yeah, she used her sexual energy to get Stack, right? So I think that got to show us because she was just sweating him. She was on him like, "Come on, let's go." You know what I'm saying? Because she wanted to bite him. You feel me? So I think a lot of brothers can learn from that scene because sex is a powerful energy. And when you have sex with a person, you actually connected to that person. You know what I'm saying? So you just can't be jumping in and out of bed with folks these days. You know what I'm saying? You got to be very careful, you know what I'm saying, who you share your sexual energy with. So that scene where she got him with her sexual energy, I think men can learn from when women are that aggressive like that, you need to, even if they not aggressive, even if they settle with it. No. You know what I'm saying? Because in these days, you got to be very careful. You got, a lot of uh, spirits out here want your spiritual essence. People be trying to take your light. You feel me? People be trying to get your light. And so, yeah, the movie was good though, family, on so many levels. Um, and Annie, back to Annie again, the root woman, the juju woman, she knew how to protect them. She knew what to do. She knew to get the garlic. She knew to get the wood. You know what I'm saying? She knew everything what to do to fight these parasites, these vampires. You feel me? So a lot of us as melanated beings can take a lot away from that movie because that's how they get a lot of us with these contracts. We signing our name on these contracts. It ain't no different from inviting a damn vampire into your house. Signing these cranked up bullshit blood written contracts, right? So that's another thing how they get us. They were showing us in the movie. You know what I'm saying? We be inviting a lot of this stuff in our lives. It's time to put a stop to that. You know what I'm saying? We got to stop these energy vampires. Stop 'em at the door. Somebody call you on the phone. They talking all negative. They, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? They call you or say somebody call you up and ask you to give them a ride somewhere, right? And you go over there to give them a ride and something happened to your car. Your car break down or something happened. And you go in to help somebody out. You know what I'm saying? So what is that telling you? That's telling you maybe you wasn't supposed to go help that person. Maybe that person needed to try to figure that out on their own. Because sometimes I ain't saying you ain't supposed to help people. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying sometimes when you help people, you're not really helping them. So we got to learn to distinguish when we helping people and when we hurting them. And help ain't always help. You know what I'm saying? So I think the movie touched on that because um, even when the Asian lady, even when her husband turned, she was fighting to like, damn, I want to go out there with my husband. She was like, damn, but then she realized like, damn, especially when she seen cornbread eating the brother down over there on the ground, and her husband was standing there like it wasn't nothing. So she had to really make a decision. So sometimes a lot of us, going through this down the spiritual path, we have to make decisions. Do I want this person in my life? Do I need this person in my life? If this person benefit me, will this person, if I'm not around, is this person gonna speak well about me? Or is this person gonna speak ill of me? You know what I'm saying? Those are the kind of people I want to be around, the people that's gonna speak well about me when I'm not around. When I ain't nowhere around, but they still speaking well of me. Because that's what I'm gonna do to people I love and care about. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna support you in every kind of way, whether you're around or you're not around. And that's what we got to start working on. And I think the film kind of showed us that, family. And then also, I think the film showed how we got to be fearless because after they had got so many of the people in the juke joint, after they got so many of them turned into vampires, it just came all out war, right? So they just had to go to war with these vampires. It was a war, and they weren't scared. They was like, okay. Annie was like, you know what I'm saying, we're gonna get some holy water, get the garlic, we're gonna get the wood, and shit, we're gonna go to war. And they went to war with them. You know what I'm saying? And they was just burning up. It was burning up. So the movie was good on so many levels. And I heard some people saying that it wasn't a vampire movie. I think he used the vampires as a metaphor to get a point across on how these Europeans use this system against us like vampires. That's what I personally think. You know what I'm saying? Um, because if you look at the prison system, look how it's turned against it. Look how they tried to savage us against the whole world. They savaged us against the whole world. But yet again, we still here. You see what I'm saying? We still here. So I think this movie's to show us our power too. Because when we come together and start raising that Kundalini energy, because you remember that scene when they was doing the music, and the music, it showed you the power in the music as well in that scene. I'm surprised I didn't bring that up. In that scene, it showed you the power in the music. Because remember when the vampires came up, they had their little jig they was playing. And they thought they was smooth with their little jig. But it was nowhere near complex as the music they was playing in the juke joint. It couldn't compare. They didn't have it, and they knew it. But they was trying to get them under their spell with the music. And you notice when they did finally turn them into vampires, what happened? They got the hive mind. They all was out there doing the river dance, running in circles. They all had a hive mind, one mind. It's controlled by this one mind. They had that hive mind, running in circles, dancing, all kind of shit. You see what I'm saying? So it was just showing you that a lot of times we give in to these so-called vampires. You know what I'm saying? Parasites. You know what I'm saying? Leeches. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Trying to suck on your blood. That's a lot of these contracts is blood sucking contracts. So you got to watch what you sign. Watch anything you put your name on. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't care if you're writing it with a pen, a pencil, whatever. It don't matter. It could still be a blood contract. So I think the movie's kind of showing us be careful out here now because we in 2025. This is the year of the snake, the year of the dragon, right? So everything's being revealed. Everything's being revealed in 2025. So keep your eyes open. Unify with those who unify with you. Um, Go around those who appreciate you, not those that um, just put up with you, but those that really really appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? And you'll be okay for the years to come. But yeah, this was a great movie, man. Great movie. I got a lot out the movie. I'm probably gonna have to do a part two on the movie because the movie was just full of symbolism. And I knew I wasn't gonna be able to catch everything I wanted to catch in this video because the movie was just full of so much. Like I said, I saw the seven deadly sins and the seven characters with Smoke Stack and Preacher Boy, Delta Slim, the Asian couple, and Cornbread. To me, they represented the seven sins on one level. On another level, on a metaphysical level, they were showing the Ouroboros, you know what I'm saying, life, birth, and rebirth. They were showing the Kundalini energy. They were showing the serpent energy. I mean, they was going in. You know what I mean? The movie was all that in a bowl of grits, if you ask me. I think everybody should see it, but I respect those that don't want to see it. You know what I'm saying? You can't make nobody see nothing they don't want to see. So those that don't want to see it, I respect that. You know what I'm saying? But I would say that if you do want to see it, enjoy it because it's a great movie. They did a great job. So yeah, check the movie out. But I hope y'all enjoyed this my take on the movie. And if I missed something, put it down in the description box. Let me know. And like I said, I want to know y'all's thoughts on the movie, what you thought it represented, what you saw. Because like I say, every eye sees something different. And because my eye didn't see it, don't mean your eye didn't see it. You know what I'm saying? And your eye just as valid as my eye. So yeah, drop it in the description box. You know what I'm saying? About the review, how you feel about the review. Something that I could have mentioned in the movie that I might have not have talked about and skipped over. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Let me know in the comment box. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. And I want to say too, Annie too, to me, kind of represented the great mother in the sense that if it wasn't for her, she was the protection of everybody. She was protection of everybody there in the juke joint. Because if it wasn't for her, they'd have been in trouble. Period. So she gave me that big mama energy. You know what I'm saying? And she's kind of big, heavy set a little bit. So she gave me that big mama energy. You know what I'm saying? So always taking care of everybody, looking out for everybody. You know what I mean? So yeah, family. The movie was all that and a bowl of grits. Um, I had a few notes down here on the movie. What else did I see in the movie? Uh, what else did I see in this movie? And the one thing that too I want to speak on is the importance of connecting with your ancestors. You know what I'm saying? Because we got ancestors, excuse me, we had ancestors that walked this earth, right, and made the transition out the body, but they still can affect this plane. They still can aid us in our plight on this plane. So that's why you should have an altar in your house with pictures of your ancestors and stuff on there that made the transition. You know what I'm saying? Because they can aid us. So this movie showed how our ancestors is always there watching and guiding. You know what I'm saying? And looking around corners, looking over mountains. You know what I'm saying? Seeing things that we can't see and aiding us, telling us don't make that turn, telling us don't make that move. You see what I'm saying? So I think the movie kind of showed us our ancestors are here with us. They fight with us because they once had bodies. They once had physical bodies. And they understand what it's like to be down here and fight this this beast we fighting. You feel me? So yeah, great movie. And then the ragtime, it tapped in. I want to mention this too. The movie tapped into the ragtime. And if you if and for those that don't know about the ragtime was a great time in human history because Black history is world history, and people got to understand that Black history is world history. So ragtime was a time when man, Black people was making music, and the whole world was grooving off this music. And at that time, a lot of Europeans didn't really know how, couldn't even play instruments. Was just now learning about instruments and all that kind of stuff, learning how to put rhythms together. And we was already so ragtime was a great time. The dances we were doing, if you go back and look at videos with the ragtime, the dances they were doing, this was amazing. It was incredible. And that's when Jim Crow and all that stuff was in full fledged. And we were still doing stuff like that. That just shows you how great we are as a people. And I don't never say that we better than nobody. We ain't better than nobody, but we are different, family. We different. Ain't nobody better than nobody, but we are different. You know what I'm saying? I do say that on this channel. We are different. We're not the same. So, with that being said, family, I hope y'all enjoyed the movie review. I'm probably gonna do a part two because I couldn't cover everything in this one. But like I said, my name is Michael Jordan, aka the Sirius Alchemist. If you like a reading from me, I'm gonna leave my email down description in the description box. Hit me up. I'd love to do a reading for you. Do astrology, tarot readings. You know what I'm saying? Hit me up if you need a reading. Again, my name is Michael Jordan, aka the Sirius Alchemist. See you in the next video. Peace.